Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm back at the shop and a package showed up today. Something I've been waiting on for a couple weeks now, and it actually is coming from Brian over at IWIRE Subaru Wiring Services. He has taken on a custom order to build me a battery relocation kit with the ability to have a master shutoff switch, which is actually an NHRA rule if you have the battery relocated. Like I said, it's been waiting on for a couple weeks, finally showed up. So today I'm here to find out what's inside and see if we can go ahead and get it hooked up. But if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification. Make sure you're notified every time that we post a video. Be the first one to see it. And if you do like this video, don't be scared to share this with a couple of your friends. It would really help me out and what we're trying to do here with our race program. So with that, we'll just go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so here we got our package. Like I said, it's coming from IWIRE Subaru Wiring Solutions, and this is their battery relocate kit. This one has been custom modified to exactly what we're trying to do. We'll just go ahead and see what's all in this thing. We're going to do it in the trunk since I didn't have a chance to show you guys what all has been done in the trunk, but it looks pretty awesome. Attention to detail is really great. You can see where he's bent them all. Super clean. But with that, we'll just go ahead and see if we can pop this box open. And there we go. Looks like a lot of wiring. And then here is our I'm pretty sure this is like a generic diagram. That's not what we want, but yeah. You can see that a lot of these, it's all labeled, and I'm pretty sure that they actually do a lot of the labeling as well. Yeah, like right there, you know, you got M in, probably M plus, or yeah, M in. Pretty sure there's some like pluses and minuses. I'm just going to go ahead and get all these out, and we'll get them strung out and see what all it turns out to be. So. Alright, so for the 15 plus, this is kind of how we're going to mount it. We're going to use this mounting spot right here. This is kind of a pain. I had to take all the bolts and stuff out of the fuse box here in order to make it be able to move, so that I could get my fingers back in between here and get a bolt and a nut and a washer in there, but I did. So this is where your battery tie down little rod would come up. So we're going to use that, and then these 2 points I'm pretty sure here are going to be used as ground points, where this is going to be used as a positive point. But first and foremost, what we need to do is right here you can see we've got these two wires. These two wires are our starter ground and starter positive. This little boot is the positive one, this one is the ground. So you can see these wires here, they run all the way down to this junction point right here. We need to go ahead and get that nut off, so we can split these wires, because we're going to be running new ones from the IWIRE kit. So let's do that first. Alright, so now that we've got the nut, this whole terminal piece will come off. You'll split these two, split them in half, and now you can see that this wire here is pretty much free. The only thing that's left is going to be this strap, this one last ground right here that actually runs right here. So let's go ahead and get that off too. You're probably going to have to pop this cover off, and then you get access to this one, so probably a 10mm as well. Okay, now we got this bolt free, and at this point you should be able to maybe looks like we're gonna have to cut that with a pair of dikes. Okay, now this guy's free, and you should be able to pull all this out. We're gonna need to bend this completely out, which you can probably do it by hand. Yep. The other thing you're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to, this won't quite fit on there because this stud is a little bit larger, so take a Dremel and we're just gonna round this hole out. And there we go. That guy will fit on the stud now. So we're just going to go ahead and change the bit and cut off those tabs. Okay, the next wire you're going to take is going to be the wire that says start positive, and this is going to go to the starter positive, which the other end is right here, positive plus, and this is going to go to the actual starter itself. Now I don't have the starter on my car yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece that we flattened out and we trimmed off, and we're going to stick it inside this boot. Like yay. And then these two guys are going to go on the stud here. We put this post on here, and we had two wires. The original two wires, the one you had to flatten out, take the prongs off, and then the starter positive, which is just running back there right now because I don't have a starter hooked up. But the other one that I worked on would be what is called post positive, and then I have post negative, which one of which runs into the other side of the post here, which runs all the way back to the back of the car. The other one, the post negative, hooks up down below. This is going to be the post negative, and this little connector, this big connector right here, is for the grounding kit, which is all those wires that run to the manifold, TGVs, all that. And then the other one is this post negative wire right here. This runs all the way back to the back of the car here. So we went ahead and we routed them all the way through into the back here and across and through up there, where most cars, your car probably won't have this, but since we have a fill cell, we have to have this per NHRA rules. And everything ends up back here. So right here we have what is labeled M in, and then we have M out, and then we have ground. Then we have our circuit breaker, which is CB aux, which there is a little thing that says AUX down here. And then the other one is going to be circuit breaker positive, which runs directly to the battery positive. Now we have another cable that says battery negative and ground again. So with this cable that says ground and this one that says ground, we're going to ground them right here to this suspension stud. I already have it all cleaned off because I've used it before, so we need to drill out these holes, make them a little bit bigger so they'll fit over that stud. Mount our circuit breaker. Now there is one other wire, which is this other M, the second M in. It's going to be the longer one. That actually runs all the way up the car, right here, through the floor, and comes out right here in the firewall. This wire right here. This guy is actually for our alternator, which has this little boot, everything. And what this is doing is this will run directly to the master shutoff switch, so that if you were to flip the switch off, it has a direct connection to that switch, and it's also being powered by the battery alone. Alright, so we have mounted our circuit breaker. We've undone the... Okay. Okay. Alright, now that we're back at the back of the car here, we've already loosened up the bumper because we are going to be putting this beautiful Joe's Racing kill switch, battery kill switch, master shutoff switch, whichever you would like to call it. This is something that we have to have for NHRA because it is a drag car, so it's about as far as that goes. So I figured we just pull the bumper off, and then we're gonna figure out how to mount this thing. But first, I figured I'd show you guys a little sneak peek of what's under the bonnet. You know, this beautiful parachute mount thing. You know, I love how it looks, but I really honestly wonder how well it holds up. So I think it's time we stand on it. What do you think? You think?
Yeah, do it.
Alright.
Nice.
I honestly think that passed the test. I don't know. Does it move any? Maybe a little bit. Just in the back though? Well, I think that gets a BigSkyBoosted seal of approval there. I mean, it is connected to the stinking frame of the car, so it should be, and it's chromoly. So these little spots here, where Nate was pulling them off, and look something like this. So they kind of mounted, you know, like yay. And from what I can understand, it says that they're a blind spot monitor sensor thing. And I was thinking, do I really need these where we're going? I mean, you might be able to buy them for like 110, 120 bucks on eBay, but I mean, yep, don't need those where we're going. So the other thing here was we have some wires that I saw that there was a hole that we ran our parachute cable through. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a bunch of wires outside of the car so that we can fix them to our switch, because the bumper comes out a lot farther than the actual body itself. So that's kind of our juggle right now. I think the only way we're gonna figure that out is if we actually just mount it to the bumper first and then go from there. So yeah, it's kind of where we're at. Nothing crazy, but.
You want to explain the switch?
Oh, yeah, okay. So basically this is just it's a 2-post, so it's either on or off. And basically on or off. And all it's gonna do is it's just gonna, when it's on, it's gonna have a contact that will create basically a lead across and bridge the 2 posts. With it off, they're not gonna be connected, so there won't be power or current that will be able to travel from post to post. And from what NHRA says is this has to shut a car completely off from the outside. So like if fire crews or safety crews or whatever had to come out and the car's like on a blaze of fire and the fuel pump's running because the alternator in the car's still running, and it's just pumping fuel and the flame is just, you know, getting bigger and bigger and just keeps on going. This switch, you have to be able to turn and kill the car, kill all the fuel pump, fuel, everything. And the problem we were having is the alternator, right? If an alternator in theory can produce a bunch of current just from the car running, and it will have enough charge where it will continue to keep the car running. So this switch needs to be able to kill alternator power as well. So since the alternator is directly connected to the battery now, this switch being directly connected to the battery as well, when you turn this on or off, should be able to sever the tie of the alternator itself. Per NHRA rule, this needs to be mounted on or accessible from the outside of the car. So fire crews, whatever, need to come up, switch it off. That's pretty much that. So pretty straightforward. Trying to figure out how to get a bunch of wires out of the car, connected to this, and get this mounted to this. We have our circuit breaker coming into one of the posts, our alternator coming into another post, and then the actual battery is going to come into the other post. So, make sense? Gonna get it?
Where are you going to mount the switch?
So, I'll probably mount the switch. I want to at least mount it right in this area. So like somewhere like here.
Trying to decide if you want it straight or crooked?
Yeah, straight or crooked is basically it. You got all these body lines and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how is it gonna look most aesthetically pleasing. Which lines do we follow? I don't know. What do you guys think? So leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Where should I put it? Yeah, aesthetically, that's like a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it where it's at now.
Crooked like that? Mm-hmm. I do too. Because what's throwing me off is when you stand back and you look at it directly straight on, you're looking at it with like your parallel, eyes to it. But what's causing the distortion is the curvature of the body lines, right? And we just, with it, the last time I used this body line, and yeah, it just doesn't look right. It looks right like that.
Much better.
I think it's way better.
It's weird. It looks crooked, but it's not crooked.
Doesn't it? Send it, bud. I mean, at this point, that's all we really can do, right? Now we got 4 fancy holes, so find a drill bit. Okie dokie, Smoogies. We have it now, I guess, as best mounted as we can. There's no nuts on the back yet, just because I wanted to fit it up to the car and make sure that the underside here doesn't smash into this part. So that's what we're gonna do while my neighbor tries to start his car. Here's a plastic piece that has like this little thing that needs to be trimmed off. But other than that, I mean,
It's looking good.
yeah, so basically we're kind of using this line right here to dictate the off and on, this little line. So on, off. And you can kind of feel the thing as it turns. It's definitely looser going off than on, which I would think spring loaded would be on, spring tension off.
Guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. So we'll pull this off and I'll show you what's being hung up on. So this little roundness part of the tab needs to be cut off.
For those safety glasses, Damien. You sure they're thick enough?
They are. They are definitely thick enough, guys. No need to worry about that. Okay. Let's run with that.
There's the back side of it.
Yep. No nuts or nothing on it. Yep. No nuts or washers. Oh, dude. There's at least an inch. Even at its closest point.
It's like you chose the perfect spot.
Yeah, and that's fully flush. That's fully popped in. Oh, yeah.
It looks good.
There's
It matches your taillight so well.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Feels so nice. Glad we did
Sit
it.
there and switch it on and off all the time.
I'm gonna be back here just. Okay. No. All right.
I want to give it a shot. Ooh, so satisfying.
Okay. So I think with that, what do you think? You look under there? No? You wanna look under there?
Yeah.
Take a look.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? It doesn't even seem like they're really, it's all that close.
No, I don't think you'll have any problems at all. You don't even have to cut your studs. Looks like it's gonna work out good though. Lots of space. Let me just pull this back off.
Yep. All right, so we actually ended up going up to the front of the car and trying to find out. We got one wire, set of wires running from the front. I will show you a post up here in the front. Come on, nice. Don't trip, don't fall. So this post right here, this is for like a starter positive, stuff like that. And this specific one wire here runs all the way down through the fender, through the door, and right here is where it came out. And what we ended up doing is the wire wouldn't reach all the way to the post, so we pulled a bunch of slack through here, and then we ended up pulling these up and pulled the extra slack out of here to get us a little bit more room there. We got about 6 inches because obviously I didn't want to have to splice into a wire or anything like that. I wanted to leave it all nice and professionally made like it is. And basically, and then we ended up just fishing it through a hole that's already in the body, so I didn't have to cut anything like that. And we end up with this. So we have our 3 wires, 2 of which are our M-ins, which will come onto this post here per our Joe's Racing diagram. And then our M-out comes out on this other post. And other than that, got it nice and tight. Still need to put our nuts on the screws for the plate, but fits. Wires are just long enough.
I don't like the focus. Get in there.
Yep, so we got 2 wires on one post, 1 wire on the other. I have a battery, a Braille battery on order, as well as a billet tray and plate that we're gonna mount back here in the trunk. And once those come in, we will hook up some posts to our battery negative wire and our battery positive wire, and those will just hook up to a battery just like that, and we will have forever power. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I actually enjoyed it, even though I absolutely stinking hate wiring. I'm pretty sure everyone does. But Brian at IWIRE made this really straightforward and simple for me. So if you guys are interested in something like this, I'm gonna go ahead and shout him out, and I'm gonna drop all of his information down below in the description. So head over there, check it out. I guarantee you, if you mention BigSkyBoosted or NHRA master shutoff kill switch type deal, he'll know exactly where it's coming from. So that'd be really awesome to support local guys, especially the Subaru community. But other than that, yeah, we'll get this thing all wrapped up and probably lay in some B-roll. So at this point we are 100% wrapped up, and without further ado, this is our finished product. It's loud, it's functional, it's fun to flip on and off, and yeah, it looks good. So if you haven't already, guys, my YouTube analytics say like 60% of you guys that watch the channel aren't subscribed. So if you would click the subscribe button down below, that would really help me out. I would be forever grateful. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification, be notified every time we post a video, because I'm waiting on a couple major pieces to get this car running. And when they show up, it's gonna be gung-ho to get a motor in this thing, get it dyno tested, get it tuned, and get it to the track to make some passes. And all of that content that's coming is all gonna be in the next month or two. So don't forget to subscribe, just do it. Just seriously click the button, help me out, because it'll be great, I promise. But with that, we will catch you guys in the next one later.